Hi everyone, today it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to Kati Kasza, the gorgeous founder of Evolu Skincare. Evolu is one of New Zealand's most well-known and well-loved natural skincare brands. It has a very beautiful story behind it, which is why I coerced Kati into joining me here to share it with you. So Kati, your focus was on pure and natural long before it became the huge trend it is now.
Yeah, exactly. And I think because I've grown up with it, it's really in my blood. And being a flight attendant, we obviously having so many stresses on the skin and the body and so on, my awareness for all of that became very heightened. And I couldn't find anything natural. And I guess just because of my upbringing with Hungarian parents, my father was a winemaker and my mother a herbalist, and we grew up with everything natural, whether it was homemade bread or whether it was some tincture that my mother would have made for us to actually get well. It just all fell into place really, and thanks to her, she suggested that I made my own products, and that was the beginning.
The thing I love about your story, Kati, was that you started off making Kati's creams in the kitchen. And the other day you showed me a pot of cream from those days, 15 years ago, that still hadn't gone off. What was your secret?
Well, you've got to remember that when I was flying, I had a lot of access to duty-free. And I found, as soon as I started making these products, once you add water and oil together, you blend the two, you're creating what's like a mayonnaise, and it goes off. It grows mold, it grows yeast. So I found out that the thing to preserve these products was alcohol, so I thought, hey, vodka!
Kati, there's a lot of media about preservatives right now, and I think it's got a lot of people very confused.
That's right, but we still have to use something because there's a real threat, a triple threat, in fact, of bacteria, yeast and mold that we obviously can't be putting on our face. And when you've got a product that's in a warm environment like the bathroom where there's steam as well, this is a real risk. And we're not putting the products in the fridge, so what can we use? So we do actually use two ingredients, dihydroacetic acid and benzyl alcohol, which can sound really scary, but they are the scientific or the chemical words for ingredients that have been derived from nature. And that's the great thing about botanicals, is that, well, in our formulas, we're using a lot of botanicals that work as natural preservatives, but that will vary from formula to formula, so there has to be a consistency. But because these preservatives are so effective and non-toxic, we're only using a really small percentage in every one of the products that have water added to them, because if you have a product like a pure oil or a product that has no water added, you don't need preservatives.
So Evolu is based on a lot of New Zealand flora, isn't it?
It is, and I think people don't realise how lucky we are. First of all, there's a lot of Māori knowledge that's come through over the years about how beneficial these plants are. And it's really nice to be sitting here talking to you because we've actually got some of them right here. This is kawa kawa, which is fantastic for sensitive skins and for inflamed skin. And you can make a poultice of this and pour a bath over this poultice in a muslin bag, and that will soothe any inflammations, any eczema. Fantastic for children who might have chickenpox, for example. We've got the harakeke, which is the flax, which is right here, and we also use what has often been called gum digger's soap, which is kumaraho, and that's a natural soap, so we can put that into our gel cleanser, for example, which means that we get this beautiful foaming soapiness purely from plants.
Last night I was rifling through some old magazines searching for the original story I did on you back in 1997, I think. You were so ahead of your time. I mean, the spirit of Evolu has always been very holistic, and now the entire world is embracing your philosophy.
Yes, yeah, and that's really exciting, and I mean, we took a risk. it was really important for us to take a risk because we were evolving as people, and that was really how the word Evolu came about. We wanted a word that really embodied not just the products and their benefits, but the whole philosophy behind the brand and what I believed in at the time, which, I mean, I'm not unusual, you know, there are lots of people like me, and so that was a really important part of what we believe, is that it needs to be shared. We're all evolving. The plants evolve, they grow, they develop, and so do we. And so we've really developed now, as you say, we're an adolescent. One minute we feel very grown up and we're very knowledgeable about what we're doing. But then there's that element of joyful playfulness that comes through as well. And I think that's a beautiful analogy of how we all want to be.
And where to from here, Kati?
Well, as you know, it's an amazing journey and we weave in all sorts of ways, but really our goals are to really go to a lot more markets. I think Evolu's got a long way to go yet, and there's lots more to come. So I guess you can just keep coming along on the journey with us and you'll see lots of exciting things.